Good morning, good afternoon, good day. This is Amy Elias, and I'm here to create a little bit of a moment for us, a moment of fluidity in a so-flow mode, very slow. I want you to follow your breath, as that will lead you into a calm nervous system by just attending and listening to your breath, and let your breath lead the movement of the practice. So the breath always leads the way. When we follow and move like that, we're able to find our place of homeostasis, and sometimes you may note that as a place of wholeness. You want to tap into your own wholeness. Okay, so let me come away from that glare a little bit. Alrighty, so let's come sit down on the floor. You can sit upon a block. You can have your hips slightly higher than your knees. So if your knees are high like this, if you're sitting like that and you're round, I want you to take a block and sit upon it so that your knees drop and the hips rise. Okay. Very nice. Okay, so let's come into the place we have some ideas to flow, and that would be, one is we want to alkalize our blood through the breath. That lifts and supports the immune function and the immune system by having alkalized, full oxygenated blood breath. And then from there, by following your beautiful breath as it enters your nose, pull it through the back of the nose, through the back of the throat, all the way down into the body. And you'll notice there's an expansion of the ribs. That inhale opens up the ribs wide. And then when you exhale, the breath leaves and the ribs knit together, expelling the air. This is very, very important, is to just follow the breath. That is the wisdom that you are born with, that you're given. So when we hear know thyself, know that you have everything you need right in your back pocket. Okay, so we're going to move slowly and on purpose. So find a place where you can feel comfortable in just your seating. What we do here is kind of like clearing the palate, or after, like in between delicious meals of course after course. You want to clear your palate and just let go of the flavors that came before, where you just were, and where you're going after. Okay, so let's take a nice deep breath. You can hold your hands upon your knees and just inhale, get nice and tall, and you float a little bit towards me. And then exhale, lean backwards. Inhale, feel the breath pull in through the nose, the back of the throat, all the way down to the backs of the lungs. And then exhale, releasing from whence it's come. See if you can create an audible sound. So inhale, it sounds like Darth Vader. And then exhale. So the breath comes first, then the movement. Stay back here. And now just take the fingertips behind you. And Alan Finger, my first formal yoga teacher, would call this potted palm. So you take your fingertips behind you, high on your fingertips, and you place it down. You lift up the side body, and then you exhale, hinge forward at the hips, right at the hip level, not at the belly. Find the same breathing. You can walk your sit bones back. Last one. Next inhale, take the hands forward and begin to just elbows soften, heart melts right in between. Feeling as if someone's holding and rooting down your pelvis behind you. Inhale, Walk yourself over towards your right side. Keeping that outer left hip crease down. So you inhale, root down, rise up the heart, out through the fontanelle of your head. And then exhale, twist a little bit to your right. You take your left hand on your right knee and kind of give a little bit of a twist. So you're moving the tissue from the inner left hip point to the right. Last one. Inhale, walk your hands through midline and come over towards your left side for a potted palm here. So root down, lift up the heart, move that left shoulder blade on the back, and then exhale more to your left. Making sure you keep that outer right hip crease down. Inhale, you rise tall and long. And exhale, pivot a little bit more to your left side. And then inhale, come center. Crisscross your ankles the opposite way. And just lean back. So I'm going to take a seat where you find your sit bones. Just lean back. I have some ankle weights on because I like to create a little bit more of a challenge through my movement. So inhale and shake your head. Find that place of balance of the two sit bones. And then if you wish, separate the feet and the knees and hold behind the knees. Lift up the toes and engage the leg from foot to ankle to calf, toward knee to thighs to pelvis. Then inhale, lift up the right leg and exhale. Inhale, so follow the breath and exhale. Inhale. Together. Nice. Now crisscross your ankles and come onto all fours. Onto your mat. Nice. Keeping the hands directly underneath your shoulders or slightly ahead. And let the knees be slightly behind the hips. So we don't want to be too close. That leaves very little room for the breath to happen. And we don't want to be too far. Too much freedom. Just right. The Goldilocks principle. So just gently stay here and notice where the breath comes into your body through the tip of your nose. See if you can weight the heart towards the earth as the shoulder blades hug onto the back plane of the body. Every inhale comes in the tip of your nose, behind the throat, behind the neck, and behind the heart. One more. From here, inhale, looking up, and then exhale, point your toes, tailbone gets weighted and heavy, as does the head, back the heart rises. Exhaling. Inhale. Inner groins move back, and then exhale, weight it down. Low belly lifts up to touch the back of the spine. 6 more. Don't forget to follow the wisdom of the breath. Just 3 more. You may notice that the breath gets deeper subsequent movements. Last 2. Last one. And then exhale, just sit all the way back into pose of a child. High on the fingertips. Say, high on the fingertips. And exhaling. If you can't reach the ground, you can stack your fists like that, or you can utilize the use of a block and just rest your forehead on it. This is a beautiful restorative pose. So some of us need to breathe into the backs of the lungs as you see they're opening. So breathing into the backs of the lungs, we tend to focus only on the front body. Two more. Breathe into the fullest expression of yourself. Spreading those ribs way out to the sides, to the forward and back, and to the head and the hips. And then exhale. Last one. Next inhale, plant the hands. And come on right back up into cat pose. From here, we're going to strengthen the back body. So walk your knees together and extend the right leg straight back. And drop the outer right hip crease down. Actually, we'll make this the right side. So imagine this is my right side. If I was facing you, it's the right side. And we just want to feel like that outer right hip crease rolls forward. So if you had two flashlights on the front hip points, both headlights would be facing the earth. So feel this, inhaling, still keep the breath going, keep focusing on the breath, and soften and relax. So we do this because we want to feel aligned to ourselves, to whole. If you've been sick throughout the winter, or you've had a bout with COVID or Omicron, this is a great place to just restore yourself by breathing. Just this matter of just focusing upon your breath really works. Now on your next inhale, just lift up that right leg. So again, remember, I have a weight on. So I'm fighting gravity. I'm lifting up. I'm trying to engage my leg from foot to calf to thigh to hip. And then exhale, lower. Inhale, look forward, and then exhale, melt the heart. Inhale, rise, and exhale, lower. Just 6 more. Three more. Take that right knee and place it behind your left. So both tibias, both calf muscles are touching. The feet are hugging towards each other. And you're pressing back to open up that left and right hip. And shimmy the hips left and right. Equal pressure on the foundation of your hands. Now inhale, come right back up. Unthread that and extending. Come back to neutral, both knees touch. And extend the left leg. Roll the outer right hip crease down, of the hip point down to the earth, and just pause. Soften. Listen. Receive. On your next inhale for 6, inhale, rise it up. Exhale, lower. Four more. Focus on the entry of your breath and the exit. The expansion last 2. Last 1. Take that left knee behind the right and come to sit, both shins together, and just sit and hinge. Shimmy, shimmy left and right. very gently. Inhale, look forward. And then exhale, just lift the knees off the ground, just about 2 or 3 inches. And exhale. Inhale and exhale, go all the way back into down dog. From the hands all the way up the strong arms to the back of the heart, you're bringing awareness of your breath up from the palms, up to the back of the heart. And then imagine that the soles of your feet have breathing tendrils. So inhale from the soles, from the soft part, the arches of your hands and feet, and just bring the breath all the way up. Inhale, come down, just missing the floor. And then exhale back to down dog. We'll do 4 more. Halfway there. Last one. Inhale, drop to your knees. Sit all the way back to pose of a child. Carry and certainly take your block with you. And rest your forehead. Let's suppose you don't want to go down as far. Just stay here. See if you can get your sit bones to touch the heels. Now inhale, come on up to sit. And let's come sit where we are just going to place our feet sit bone support. Okay. So that looks like this, sit bone support, right here. From here, I'd like you to just take your left leg over your right and keeping the body and just working over and opening the hips. So you're opening this up. You're making the number 4 with your foot up, that left leg, and you should feel it. Lift up the base toes of the right foot and curl the toes of the one in the air. And see if you can work it all the way over to your right and bring the knee all the way to your left. 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Come down and let's see if we can drop that top left knee on top of the bottom right ankle and come into a beautiful way of really opening up the hip sockets. Staying here, just see if you can also place your palms on the soles of your feet and feel the breath come up the legs, feel the breath come in the soles of the hands and feet, and just begin to breathe, hinging forward. Follow your breath. Each time you're aware of your breath, you come into a state of utter wholeness and coherence in the brain. So to reach the ground is not the goal, but if you're going towards that way, it's a process. It's not an event. So just know that it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but it certainly will be someplace in the near future, and if not, not. But the idea is, are you going in alignment? We're not forcing, we're just really being patient and witnessing the unfurling and the unfoldment of your highest good and your highest place of wholeness. Inhale, come up and rise. Take that left leg over to the right. And go ahead and tuck in that bottom left. Interlace your hands in the front left shin. Lift up the heart. And find the breath once again. It's finding the breath and noticing it that really makes a difference in healing. And healing could be every second of every day. You may not feel like you need to be healed, but every moment that we can keep coming back to center is a way for your nervous system to remember where it is. It becomes easier and easier to access. On your next inhale, take a hold of that left shin with your right hand and lift up the left arm to the sky. So you're hugging midline, lift up, and move that right low belly all the way to the left. Plant the left hand behind you, kind of lean on it. You could stay here. This is step one. This is step two. And if you'd like to hold your bottom toes with peace sign fingers, feel free to. So inhale, rise, and then exhale, spin a little bit more to your left. Let's stay here for 6 breaths. Inhale, you get taller. And every exhale, you spin a little bit more to your left. So the inhale is the lengthening from earth to sky. And just 4 more breaths. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Good. Inhale, come all the way center. Lift up that left leg and extend it all the way out. And let's take this front right heel right towards the groin. You want to be able to extend and open the toes. Lean forward and lift up that left booty cheek. And lean to the left and lift up the right butt cheek. So from here, we're going to walk the left hand in towards the left toes. And then gently take the right fingertips to your shoulder. Lift up the elbow to the sky. And extend the arm in one unit as you reach over towards the bottom toes. You can lean forward. You could hold the back of your head. Just find a place of balance where you're still breathing, where you're still understanding that you're here in this time-space reality, and that you're attending to where you're at. You may squeeze the muscles on your bone from heel to calf to thigh to hip. Two more. Inhale, rise. And exhale, take the hands to the heart. And gently inhale, lift all the way up, but pivot towards the left side, to the right side. And take a hold. So you're anchored by this left leg, but you're twisting to your right. And inhale, come center. Come into Baddha Konasana, both heels towards each other, soles of the feet. And lift up and take the pubis back behind you so that your chest falls forward, and just soften and release. So as we bring the soles of the feet together, the two hemispheres of the brain conjoin and the hands, and you can hold on to the feet and just soften. Again, we're bringing attention to the breath. And then inhale, rise up again. Take both feet, sit bones apart, and this time take the right leg over the bottom left knee. And reach back with your hands. And we're going to move the legs over. So inhaling and exhaling. Keep the chest awake. Keep the mind awake. Follow the breath through the nose. And then inhale, so if you move the foot towards that left side of the mat. And exhale. Last one. Nice. And now gently, see if you can take that leg over. Right top leg over the bottom left, and interlace your hands and lift up. Become the disciple of your own discipline. Watch yourself with your breath. Be on top of yourself with awareness. And then gently take up the right arm to the sky. Left hand holds the right shin, hugs midline, and inhale, rise, get tall from the 2 sit points down to the ground. If you'd like, you plant the back right hand down. This is step 1. You can go step 2. Lean back, and you can even move the midriff out of the way. Take a hold of your toes, whatever that may be. 4 more breaths. Inhale gets tall, and then exhale, you spin to the right. Nice. Inhale, come center. Take a hold of that top right ankle on top of the bottom left knee. And we're going to come into Stambhasana. We call this fire logs because they wake up your hips. And in the hips, it said that so much unconsciousness about our lives live there because we tend to dump it into the hips. We don't see it, we don't feel it. So as long as we keep opening up that area subconsciously, it works on our nervous system. So fingertips behind you, inhale, rise and tall. Breathing all the way in, expanding the ribs. Exhale, just fall on a hinge at the forward hips. Take the fingertips forward, inhale, and exhale. So right here, we're just being with ourselves. It's a moment of a gift of grace. It's offering glory to the Creator that made us, whatever creation may mean to you. Honoring that beautiful body that you've been given to walk on this earth, to serve all those that you serve. Take one more breath, inhale in. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Take this right top leg out to the side, to the right, and move that left foot in. So you may be a little bit tighter on one side. Fire up the toes. Now, if you have any knee issues, if the top of your shin is behind the top of your ankle, I want you to elevate the base of the top of your tibia. So you want the tibia, this top of this tibia, a little higher. So I put it there to kind of therapeutically address what's going on in my left knee, which is your right side. So softly, stay here. Inhale, set yourself up. Drop that left knee down. Click the toes. Fire up the legs. And pause. Soften. Listen. Receive. Gently lean to the right side. And take the left fingertips to the left shoulder, elbow to the sky, and extend it over your head. Notice that that right outer hip crease, that left outer hip crease is rooting to the ground. Keep working on awareness, that back left hip. Enjoy your breath. Last 2. Last 1. And inhale, rise. This time just spin to your left side. And then softly inhale, come all the way back. Konasana. Again, sit on a block if your hips are, if your knees are way up, sit on a block or two balls. So I stick a ball underneath my sit bone and the other one here, and then I could drop the knees down a little bit. Okay. Inhale, come all the way up, and let's lay on your belly. So come on your forearms. And roll the inner groin. So you're going to take one leg and roll it in. Take the other leg and roll it in, and then come down. And Sphinx Pose, just gently begin to plant the hands down. Claw the floor towards you as the heart rises. And inhale, plant the hands next to your chest. And inhale, rise the head and rise the knees. And exhale. Inhale, press yourself to come on up. And then exhale, lower everything. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Two more. Rest your forehead down. Place the palms down next to you. And just stay here. On your next inhale, rise just the upper body and the arms, looking to the front line of your mat. And then exhale, lower. We're going to go for 6. Inhale, 1. And now exhale, take the hands next to your chest, shrug your shoulders to your ears, roll the blades upon your back, and gently come on up and sit all the way back into pose of a child. Again, use your block. Or a buck, or nothing. Inhale, come on up. So I'm going to sit on my block, put the block between my feet, and I'm going to sit back on it. So what I want to show you is we're going to look at, whenever we do a practice, our femur heads tend to uplift and come out of the hip sockets. We want to really root them in. And how do we do that? We do that by implanting them back to where they belong. So let's go lay down here. And we're going to just extend one leg to the sky. If you'd like to, you could take a belt or a tie or a rope, and you're going to put it right ahead of your heel. Not in the arch, but a little further back towards the front of the heel. Then you're going to extend the leg, but you're not bending your elbows, you're not curling the belt around your hand, you're just walking your hand up the belt, and you're pressing pressure from the front of your heel straight down through the femur head into the acetabulum, your hip socket. And you're pulling down, but you're pressing up. So we're working to kind of feel that placement. Notice that there's the low back. You can either flatten it out, right, or arch your spine. So I want you to arch your spine a little bit by taking the by keeping the curve in your spine. The same thing with the back of your neck. So you're not dropping your chin down. You're pressing the skull into the earth. So we do all this to keep our machine running at optimal efficiency. Pull and press. There's a vector of energy from the front of the heel straight down into the hips. And then release. Inhale, softly release. Take the right leg right in front. Drop the other leg down. So your leg is kicking up. Remember what I said about the shin. You don't want to hyperextend the back of the knee. So I have a little trouble in the back of my knee. So I'm not going to press. I'm always keeping a little bit of a bend. And you can even notice that you should have two tendons. They should be prominent equally, not one more than the other. And I have one more prominent than the other. So I will massage it a little bit later on. Right now, we're going to place the belt right ahead of the heel and pull it down, but press up. Keep that micro bend if your knees are tender and the feet are active. Keeping the curves in the back of the neck and the low back. And to top it all off, if you still can, remember to breathe. And one more breath. And then gently release. That's one direction. The other thing is you can lift up your leg and interlace your hands behind the thickest part of your thigh. So it's not behind your knee and it's not at your booty, but it's the place in between. Interlace your hands and pull but press. And then release. We're setting the femur bone into the hamstring muscle, which also takes away any back pain, if you should have. Reverse the legs. Last breath. And then inhale, release the legs. Open and close your hands and just rock the knees to one side. So in this case, I'm rocking my knees to or what I'm considering the camera's angle to the right. And I lift up my left arm and just take 2 or 3 breaths here. And then inhale, come all the way up and drop it over to the opposite side with the right arm up. And inhale, rise all the way up and lie on your right side with your top left nostril, breathing 3 breaths in. Just relax here, get really heavy. And then softly extend the top left leg and press yourself to come on up. Take your block, sit on a ball, sit on a rolled up mat. I'm going to put it on between my feet and sit on it that way to keep a nice curve. All right. Actually, I'll sit a bit lower. It was a pleasure to see you all and to know that you're taking the best care of yourself, which is you only have this for your lifetime. We can't be guaranteed by any medicine or anything that can help you feel better except for your attention on yourself. And that's the diet, lifestyle, and your environment. What do you expose yourself to on the daily? What are you ingesting as far as ideas, thoughts, feelings? Who are you surrounding yourself with? And who feels excited to see you when they do? And how do we really juxtapose all the different aspects of our life to come together as one place here, in this body, in this mind, in this time, space, reality. So may you join your hands together at your heart as a gesture for bringing all the disparities of life together as one and embracing it and making art with that as well. Hari Om, Om Tat Sat, Shalom, Shanti, peace to you, to others, to the universe, and a prayer for an ease of well-being for all people throughout the world. Prayers for anybody and everybody who's suffering in small ways and large ways. And may we look and find and pre-pave that place of ease. Namaste. And feel free to contact me through my website or my email at amy@onthespotconsulting.com. And I work with the entirety of the life cycle and people from 0 to over 100. Have a beautiful afternoon, day, evening, morning, sleep. Bye-bye.